Hi, I'm Mark Gaylor. I'm a Sony imaging ambassador. I'd like to talk to you about face-eye priority, especially on the later model cameras. That's the A7 III, A7R3 running the firmware updates, the A9 running its firmware update. Let's go dive into the menus first. You can see in the AF2 tab on this particular camera, I have face-eye AF settings. Now this should be on by default. We also have subject detection. Now I've got it set to human because I'm going to be photographing and demonstrating on humans, but we do have the option of changing that over to animals. I'll leave it set in the humans. I have right, left eye auto select. Typically it'll go for the leading eye, that's the eye closest to the camera, and I also have face eye frame display set to on. Let's take a look at what's happening. Now in the AF area, we have wide selected. Now when we have wide selected, you can see it's already picking up two faces. The box with the white frame around it is the priority face. So when I half press the shutter release, it's going to pick up the eye in that face. Now, in order to control which face you're actually picking up, you may want to change that focus area. Now, if I change the focus area to, say, zone, now it's still picking up that face on the left, but if I move the zone area over to the right, you can see now it's picking up the face on the right side of the frame. Now, let's take a look at another focus area. This time we'll go down to center. When I half press the shutter release, you'll see it's focusing in the middle of those two faces, and eye priority is not on. And the reason for that on these later model cameras is the face is outside of the focus area. So in order to have any degree of control, if using the smaller focus areas, we really need to come down to one of the movable spot focuses. Here I'm using expand flexible spot. Now if I move that inside of that face, you'll see it's lit up with that white face display, and now it'll select the eye in that face. Alternatively, I can move over to anywhere near inside that face display. Again, it'll pick up that eye. This spot AF does not need to be over the eye itself. It just needs to be inside of that face display box there. Let's center that. I can center if I have a multi-selector just by hitting the center of the multi-selector to set that. Now if you are using a focus area that does not include the faces, there is a way of getting IAF to engage. Let's come over to the menus. We'll roll around to the second camera setup there, and then we'll come over to the custom key. Now if I come over to the custom keys and look at the focus hold button, it doesn't actually need to be the focus hold button. You can choose any custom key. I prefer to use this button for IAF. Now IAF is on by default, but the interesting thing is when we assign it to a custom button, and then I press that custom button, you'll see it'll look for an eye outside of the focus area. So there is still a reason to have IAF assigned to a custom button, even though it's on by default. Another thing that I would recommend that you do is if I just press the FN button on the back of the camera, you'll see that I have IAF on there. I can disable that very quickly if I need to. And I also have subject detection. If I just roll the front dial on this particular full frame camera, you can see I can quickly change to animal IAF, and then we'll see no face display is actually lit up, obviously because we have no animals. Now all I need to do to switch back to humans is again just roll that front dial to change over to human, and again we're on the IAF. And just remember, if you're pressing that custom key, the IAF will work outside of the focus area. Alternatively, I perhaps would recommend maybe just using one of the larger focus areas such as zone, so that you're always going to be able to pick up a face quickly and not have to move that focus point onto the face itself. And it's very quickly just to tap that 2 to the left and pick up an alternate face. Okay, so I'm Mark Gaylor, Sony Imaging Ambassador.